Make today iconic. What is up, guys? It's Upcom Sports back with another realistic rebuild here on my channel. In this one, we're doing the New York Giants. Another Madden 19 rebuild. Haven't done one in a long time, but this one I'm pretty excited for. As you guys know, the Giants are currently, I believe, 1-7 coming out of their bye week, so they're not doing too well. But here are the settings I'm going to be using, and we're going to try to rebuild this team. Probably Eli Manning is going to be on the bench for the rest of this video, and we'll build around Landon Collins, Odell Beckham, and Saquon Barkley. But yeah, outside of those three guys, it's pretty much a bunch of not good pieces around this team. Like, the defense is absolutely terrible. The offensive line is horrible right now, which is probably why Eli Manning is not doing even decent. But yeah, we're gonna start Kyle Lauletta, see what he has, and if he's good enough, then he might be the starting quarterback, or maybe even the backup moving forward. But here's our rotation for the remainder of the season, and let's see what happens. So for this season, we ended up with a record of 5-10-1 after being 1-7. So we went on a little run there at the end, which is not really good because we wanted the best pick possible. But as you guys can see, we were one of the worst teams in the NFL. So we'll have a top 5 pick at least. Stats on the season, Eli Manning, those are his stats before we benched him, which he was not doing good at all. So that's why we benched him. Kyle Lauletta, not too bad actually. 13 touchdowns to 7 interceptions. Around what Eli Manning was projecting. So Saquon Barkley, 1,000 yards rushing, 12 touchdowns, so he went insane in this season. Odell Beckham, 1,000 yards receiving, also getting the touchdowns out there. Evan Ingram as well, playing pretty good. Defensively, here are the stats. Sacks, 8 from Lorenzo Carter, and interceptions, we didn't really have that many. And checking out the yearly awards, Patrick Mahomes wins MVP, and Coach of the Year went to Andy Reid. So the New Orleans Saints are going to end up winning the Super Bowl over the Jacksonville Jaguars. So in free agency, we are not going to really make any big moves or any big signings because we're coming off of a terrible season. Not many people are going to want to come here, but it is still New York, so it's still a pretty big market. So we will have some pull in later years, but just this year we're gonna get some offensive line pieces. So in the draft, we did take a quarterback at the number 5 pick, and he is a 79 overall already as a rookie, which is pretty solid. He does not have star potential though, so that might lead us to trade him away or move on from him, depending on how he does in these next 2 to 3 years. But pretty good draft all around. So here's the roster after the offseason and the draft, and we're still looking pretty bad, but obviously we've got some young pieces to work with now, so that'll be good moving forward. So since we're not in a win now mode, it's best to trade Janoris Jenkins, our best corner, because he is going to start to regress pretty soon for a pick here. So here's the rotation for this season. As you guys can see, our rookie quarterback is starting, and Kyle Lauletta and Eli Manning will back him up. But it's looking a little bit better. Hopefully we can show some progression. So for this season, as you guys can see there in the standings, we went 3-13, which might be the worst record in the NFL. I'm not really sure, but it was the worst record in the NFL, so we actually got worse, but that's okay. Rookie quarterback, he didn't do too bad actually. 22 touchdowns to 13 interceptions. That's not too bad for a rookie quarterback, but Saquon got his money. Sterling Shepard actually leading us in receiving this time, not Odell Beckham. He kind of dropped off a little bit, but probably because of the rookie quarterback. They don't have the chemistry just yet. He probably had more chemistry with Sterling Shepard. But there on defense, you guys can see Tomlinson leading us in sacks. And we're still not getting a lot of interceptions, but that should go up in the following years. Matt Ryan wins MVP and Coach of the Year. So the Eagles are going to win the Super Bowl, beating the Browns. I don't know how they got there, but... And here in free agency, we're going to make probably just this one signing for a middle linebacker, which we desperately need. And maybe another small signing here and there. So here in the draft, we had the #1 overall pick, and I decided to go with this right outside linebacker. 81 overall already, so he's probably going to be a stud for us. And he'll be nice to pair up with Landon Collins. So here's the roster for the 3rd season. I still don't think we have enough pieces to win games, but we're going to keep building and rebuilding through the draft and making a couple of trades. But for the most part, we're not going to win any games, which is good. We get another good pick in next year, but you never know. It is the NFL. Here's the rotation. Our rookie quarterback not really progressing as much as we would like, so we'll give him maybe 1 or 2 more years to prove himself. If not, then we'll go after someone else. So in this season, as you guys can see, we actually went 6-10. So we had a 3-game increase from last year, which is definitely good. Always with a rebuilding team, you want to see them get better. But maybe it was a fluke. Maybe it was just an easy schedule. We'll see. Next year is really the proving point. But Carter Jensen, not too bad of a year. 24 touchdowns to 11 interceptions. Saquon Barkley being a beast. He's going to be a really good piece for us in the playoffs if we ever get there. Corey Coleman leading us in receiving. Odell Beckham. Another down year for Odell Beckham standards. But on the defensive end, we did get led in sacks by Olivier Vernon, who is going to be a free agent here soon. I don't know if we'll bring him back. But let's check out the yearly awards. MVP went to Aaron Rodgers. And Coach of the Year went to Doug Marrone. And in this Super Bowl, the Jaguars are going to be taking down the Rams. And here again in free agency, we're going to go after some defensive pieces. Derek Barnett. And we'll show up the pass rush there. Also, we're going to go after a corner in Sidney Jones. So he is a scheme fit, 83 overall. Not the best, but still solid. And another linebacker, we're going to go after Ben Gideon here. 78 overall. Another solid piece for the rotation. And here in the draft, we went after a defensive tackle with the 7th pick. Building upon the defense once again. He is a 79 overall. So here we're going to be sending one of our receivers that we just signed to the Bills for a pick. We want to get our rookie wide receiver some snaps. And here's what the team is looking like for the 4th season, I believe. And it's definitely getting better. The offensive line still needs some work, but there's not really been good offensive line pieces in the draft, so I haven't been able to work on that, but we'll definitely make some trades for those pieces if they don't pop up here in the next drafts. So here's the rotation. And we'll give our quarterback 1 more season to prove himself. If not, we're going to have to go after someone else. So as you guys can see, after the season, we did finish 3-13. And we did regress by 3 games. So that's not good at all. We are rebuilding and we're definitely getting better. But it's not reflecting in the wins. So our quarterback might have to go. Yeah, he just keeps getting worse and worse with the interceptions, not protecting the ball at all. So we're probably going to trade him and look for a different option. Saquon Barkley still getting his money. And if you guys can see, Sterling Shepard this time leading us in receiving yards. Odell Beckham still not connecting with the quarterback, so that's also a problem. On the defensive end, leading us in sacks was Kevin Raymond, who we did draft couple drafts ago. But yearly awards, MVP went to Jared Goff. Todd Gurley 2nd in MVP voting. So I don't know how, but the Cardinals somehow won the Super Bowl, beating the Chargers. So we have a bit of money here in free agency, and we're going to go after Chris Conley here, wide receiver. He is a scheme fit. Get us our third option out there. And we do need another defensive tackle, so we are going to trade our young wide receiver for a defensive tackle straight up. And we are also going to trade one of our young corners and a 7th round pick to move up to a 3rd round pick and potentially get a better piece. And I haven't been impressed with our quarterback during these 3 seasons, so we are going to ship him to the Bengals along with a tight end and also a 3rd round pick for a lockdown corner in William Jackson, also a scheme fit. So in this draft, we are going to take a quarterback, number 1 overall, BJ Clausen. He's an 82 overall. He does not have star potential, but he should be solid still. Maybe he'll be a better scheme fit for us. We'll find out. Here is the roster for our 5th season, I believe. And we're looking pretty nice. The defense is definitely a lot better than when we started. So is the offensive line. It's still not where we want it to be, so we might make a couple of trades here in the next 1 or 2 seasons. But here's the rotation, and hopefully we can make the playoffs or at least be competitive and win some games, or at least improve from last season. So for this season, as you guys can see in the standings, we went 6-9-1, which is definitely a lot better than even I expected for the season. I thought we might get 4 or 5 wins, but 6-9-1, definitely something we can build upon for next season. Our rookie quarterback threw for close to 4,000 yards, 18 touchdowns, and 16 interceptions. Not great numbers, but at least it translated to more wins. So it's definitely something that we can build upon. As you guys can see, there are the receiving stats. Defensive stats, here you go. Leader in sacks, Kevin Raymond again. He's a beast for us. And interceptions, not really getting too many, but yearly awards. Deshaun Watson wins MVP for the Texans. So in this Super Bowl, the Texans and Deshaun Watson as the MVP are going to win. So here is our draft recap. With our 1st round pick, we did take a linebacker, 80 overall. So here's the roster for the final season. For now, we'll probably make some trades to shore up some positions, especially on defense, but definitely a better team. So Chris Conley actually regressed quite a bit, so we need another 3rd receiver. This guy's pretty young. He's also a scheme fit. Makes sense for both teams. And we also need a right tackle, so we're going to be sending 2 very good picks to the Bears for Love, 80 overall. So here's the rotation for the final season. Hopefully we can make the playoffs. If not, this has been a complete failure and the Giants are doomed, but probably just a simulation. Either way, in the final season, you guys can see the standings. We went 9-7, 2nd in the division, and we did make the playoffs. I think just barely, but we did make the playoffs. Definitely better than every year. So BJ Clausen, definitely our franchise quarterback, and he did improve. Not double-digit interceptions, and he got more touchdowns this season. Saquon still getting his money, and Sterling Shepard, Odell Beckham improving. Definitely better chemistry with BJ Clausen. And here's the defense. Leader in sacks was Kevin Raymond again, just a stud. And interceptions, not too many still, but yearly awards, Ezekiel Elliott was the MVP. So here in the wild card round, it looks like we're pretty easily going to take down the Chicago Bears. We're up 37-20 right now with about a minute left, so it's pretty much over. let's just see. It did end, and we are going to be moving on to the divisional round. Let's check out the stats for the teams. You guys can see those. You can pause them if you like and go more into depth with them, but I'm not sure even who their quarterback was, but our quarterback doing just enough to get the win. In rushing, Jordan Howard and Saquon went at it, but Saquon definitely got the better of him. Receiving, not too much going on there. On the defensive end, they do have Roquan Smith, so. And here in the divisional game, we are down by 4 points to the LA Rams. A very, very good team. Jared Goff is, I believe, a 97 overall. So, Todd Gurley also like a 97, 98. It's going to be tough here. They are driving the ball down the field, and we can't seem to get a stop. Under 2 minutes. And we are going to get a stop, so we're going to get a chance here to drive the ball back and get a score. 2nd and 7. 3rd and 6, this is huge. 4th and 3, and we rushed the ball for some reason. That was the dumbest call. 4th and 3, and we decided to run the ball. That was... What insanity is that? 4th and 3, with the game on the line, you need to get it. And you decide to run the ball. I get we have Saquon Barkley, but no, you throw the ball. I don't care if we have Saquon Barkley. It's just you throw the ball in that. Oh my. Here are the stats. You guys can check those out. I don't even understand that play call, but. So at least we lost to the Super Bowl champs, LA Rams. So that's going to do it for this rebuild. Let me know what you guys thought of this team. Let me know what you guys would have done differently. Also, let me know if it was realistic enough. And I probably won't be doing too many Madden rebuilds, but I'll throw some in here and there. So thank you guys for watching. Make sure to subscribe for some more videos.
Never get to me. Bring out the Brxnks Truck. I'm young, flying, iced up. 100-yard dash. I had to run my price up. Bust your life up.